Hey guys, welcome to our channel. So we've been decoding REM Losing My Religion, Said Enough, changed to Set It Up. So we'll get right into it. And in order to get your extractions of what actually changed, you first must figure out what didn't change and eliminate it. So since this S in Set Enough is still over here in Set It Up, we will eliminate this S. Since this I in Set Enough is still over here in Set It Up, we will eliminate this I. Since the E in Set Enough is still over here in Set It Up, we will eliminate this E. And since this U over here in Set Enough is still over here in Set It Up, we will eliminate this U, which leaves you with ADNOGHTTP, and that happened twice. So we bring ADNOGHTTP down twice. Then we use this numerology chart, although a computer would use all the numerology charts. We're sticking with this one that Ron over at Just a Voice gave us a while back. And we then convert ADNOGHTTP becomes 145678227, and that happened twice, so you bring it down twice. And once you hit this overlap, going forward, you can start coming back, and once you hit it coming back, you're done. Unless we were rearranging the letters and numbers, which we're not, because that would just take too much time, but a computer would, so we're not getting everything, all right? So, we start out with our first three numbers, 145, that ends up being, and we got the letters to go through all the categories. We got translations, found some interesting stuff there. We got the numbers to go through stock market, finance, genetics, medical, chemical, atomic numbers, and artificial intelligence, and laboratories. And now we're on research groups, and we will be adding a couple more categories to this, but we'll discuss that later. So not in this one though. This one we're going to stick with what we got going on. But you start with 145 and you end up with PAR21-145, and that is, here, I'll show you here. PAR-21-145, research on, and we got to come in here. I'm coming in here because I think this is important. Research on biopsychosocial factors of social connectedness and isolation on health, well-being, illness, and recovery. Clinical trials not allowed. So they are literally researching biopsychosocial factors of social connectedness and isolation on health. Go figure. Man, that seems relevant. That seems quite relevant right now. So, there's more. You also have BRAIN initiative, RFA-MH-19-145. You got another study here, peer review on gender bias. And we found a School of Gender Studies, as you recall, because that's important. Impacts of the cerveza bug on research enterprises, which that's not an actual, but there's the number right here. And you also get research labs, Rutgers University. Yep. And there's our number right here, 145. You also got sorry about that. You got Alzheimer's Disease Research Center, and that's part of an address. You got labs and centers, mechanical engineering, right there, room 145. You got records, Farm Service Agency, National Archives. Apparently they're into research, obviously. So you got a few things going on there, but we're going to move on to 678. 678 ends up being social organizational psychology at Columbia University. Right here, research groups. Doctoral students get involved in research by participating in work groups led by social organizational psychology. And there's your number. It's part of a phone number. Part of a phone number, 678. You also have PA-18-678, and this deals with research project grants, which they could have certainly calculated that. That would make sense. You have another PA-20-195. Oh, here it is, 678. Developmental Research Grant. So there it is again. You got Georgia Archives. Researchers are required to call in advance. It's part of a phone number. So these guys hold research records. You got Kumar Research Group, and that's part of a phone number. So you got a few things here. Karna Public Health Consulting, Public Health Research and Support. Not seeing my number here. We're going to ignore that. We're going to ignore this. So there's a few things going on, guys, but we're going to move on to 227, and 227 ends up being, National Defense Research Committee. National Defense Research Committee. National Defense Research Committee. And Group 227. So there's your number, National Defense Research. And I'm not sure what's in here. National Archives. Records of the Office of Scientific Research and Development. So, all sorts of stuff in there. And we'll just go through a few more of these. The initial impact of Proposition 227 during the University of California researchers studied Proposition 227. Here is PA-20-227. We got those in the other category, in the other numbers. You also have collaborative research groups. And here's the number, documents 227. Collaborative research group. So you also have CSE 227, graduate computer security. So you got a few things. Penn State Department of Materials. So you got a Millennium Science Complex, N-227. And so you got a few things going on there. Preclinical efficacy of PSMA targeted thorium-227. Talks about it must be a element. So research on that. But we're going to move on, guys, to 714, and now we're in the overlap. Yes, we're in the overlap now, 714. 714 ends up being, to me, this was interesting, Anaheim Clinical Trials, and it's part of a phone number. But you also had PAR 184 or 714. Did I say 417? I meant 714. Going forward in the overlap. You also have clinical trials research at St. Jude. Okay. You also have Research Group Incorporated, RG Research Group Incorporated, Los Alamos, California. You got a few things. Oh, and here's your number. It's part of a phone number, 714. You also have safety and efficacy of AMG, 714. So you got a few things here. You have ocular hypertension treatment study. And this is part of a, no. But there's the number right there, 714. Whoop. Right there. So you got a few things going on with 714. That gets you through the overlap. And now we're coming back and start with the first three numbers coming back, 722. 722 ends up being Project Research Staff, Silberman School of Social Work. And that's right here, 722, part of a phone number. You also have effect of, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Maybe I will. Abaloperidite versus placebo on new vertebrae fractures. There's your number. TABB Group and international research and consulting firm focused exclusively on capital markets based on interview-based research. 722 right here. There's more, but we're gonna let that go and move on to 876. 876 ends up being TU Dortmund Collaborative Research Center, SFB 876. So right here, I think this is the same thing. Collaborative Research Center, SFB 876. You got a Collaborative Research Center. You got some scam phone numbers there. Andrew Weil Center for Integrative Medicine. There's your 876 photos, and that's on Facebook. I'm not sure that that's important. Caribbean Market Research Group, focus groups, product testing, part of a phone number. And then you got them telling you to beware of 867 area code as scams. Multiple ascending dose study in subjects with type 2. Oh, AMG 876. So there's that again, actually. We're going to move on to 541, and 541 winds up being 541 Research. 541research.com. 541 Research is focused on the business of enterprise IT innovation. So, other centers, institutes, related groups. Not seeing my number there, guys. Moving on. Here's research groups, College of Earth, Ocean, and Atmospheric. There's the number, OregonState.edu. Not going to get into all these or we'll be here all day, but just showing you there's some stuff here. Oregon Social Learning Center, Nonprofit Research Center, dedicated to strengthening children and families, and 541. There it is, part of a phone number, I think. Nielsen Research Corporation, Water Testing Laboratory. Yeah, it crosses off groups here, but it's a research corporation, so it's the same thing, 541. They can calculate it. I'm not seeing my number here, so we're going to move on. And now we're in the overlap at 417. Ends up being QPS, Missouri Clinical Research Studies. 417. Whoop. 417. And clinical research study. You also have 417 Paranormal Research Group. Not sure if the Mandela Effect is paranormal or not, but some could consider it that. So 417 Paranormal Research. The 417 group, 417 Research and Analytics. So you also have PAR-18-417 Feasible Clinical Trials of Mind and Body. Do I see our number? 417. VAXX information. And this deals with this. And Steve pointed out before that was an interesting find when we got something along these lines before, and I guess it is. I'm not the biggest fan of talking about this particular subject. I have my opinion on the subject, and everybody else has their own. But interesting nonetheless. Look what we found. Again, we found this in labs, and now we find it in research groups. VAXX. And that gets you through going forwards and backwards in research groups. Pretty kind of some interesting stuff there. But we'll do technology next, and then random hits, and we will be adding robotics. John or Games, I believe it was, pointed out that wondered why we didn't do robotics instead of laboratories, and I explained that, of course, that laboratories came up over and over, and robotics has not. We didn't start this with categories. We started just running them through. But then Steve pointed out that they ran in categories, so we started running categories to see what all was there. Well, there's a lot there. And then Steve mentioned that since they like to bulk learn, that maybe we should try machinery. And that would go hand in hand with technology. So we will run robotics after artificial intelligence, and we will run machinery after technology, but not in this particular search. Not in REM Losing My Religion, and also not in South America. Because we already started this with these categories, and we'd have to double back, and we don't want to have to double back. We want to get through this and run the gematria, and then do on against North Dakota University so far. Haven't seen anything that's changed my mind. And see if that connects or doesn't connect, and then run the binary, and then move on to South America, which we're doing in reverse because it was a number. It was a number of miles moved. So we're doing numbers first, letters second, which is interesting as well. We were quite a ways through that. So for now, guys, thanks for all your thumbs up, thumbs down when appropriate. Thanks for all your comments, leads, feedback, and subscriptions. And thanks for watching, guys. And for now, you guys have a great rest of your day.